You're listening to Jump on the Bat-Wagon, hosted by the Watchtower Database. Visit WDB on YouTube for video essays, timelines, fan theories, and much more from the DC animated universe. And now, please enjoy the show. Jimmy. Those don't go together like at all.
No.
That's bad. It's a horrible start to this chunk of podcast.
Let's start again.
Okay.
No!
No! Not that. Anything but that. We didn't put up the blankets.
Yeah, we'll do it
later. We'll do it later.
Later.
Idiot.
I made my microphone too low, and now I got to hunch over here like a fucking gremlin.
Well, I'll hit your mute button and so you can move it. He's doing it, everyone. He's doing it. He's really. Should I unmute him? Vote below. Cast your votes in the comments.
Just yell into your mic. It's
so
fine.
we've done this joke before.
Yeah, we have.
He's back.
I'm back.
He showed up.
That's it.
He showed up. I didn't edit out any sort of gap there. Brian just laughed before I could think of a follow-up to. He showed up. Just done. How you feeling?
I'm gooch.
How you hungry?
I'm hungry.
He made food. He made us avocado toast like a true millennial.
Yeah.
And now we're
homeless.
You make toasts, immediately lose your house. That's just how we make it. One too many times, it's always a risk.
Yeah, yeah. Worth it.
Yeah, it's delicious. So until you got to put in the time. Mm-hmm. So if you can't do the crime, die.
Okay.
This is episode 158 of Jabwa.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of episodes. Every time I say a number, it's a higher number. And I go, wow. I've been doing it for a time.
I'm going to be unimpressed from here forth.
Okay. It's a normal episode then. There's nothing new.
Episode 159, yes.
Yeah, whenever.
Great.
All right, cool.
I'm unenthused.
Someday it'll be episode like 300 something. It's going to be so
boring.
Yeah. We're just going to talk like at that point. We'll just,
we're just going to phone it in.
All right. Hello. Yeah, we have to finish
what
this.
What can Batman do?
Yeah, even the songs get tired. We didn't change anything about the actual files, but they just kind of deteriorated to a tireder sounding version.
Kimmy's just
we. That's what I was just going to do. We drop. She might sound like that right now. She said she was sick. She texted me. She's like, Jamie, why? I'm sick this week, and why would you come when I'm sick? And I said, last podcast, we told you not to get sick.
Yeah. What the fuck?
We did it anyway.
What a bitch.
You said to not say that.
I did.
And then you said it. I'm leaving that in. I'm James from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel.
I'm Bitch.
And I'm Bitch. And I'm here to show my good buddy Bitch the entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial Airdate order. You know what it is. So he may view these shows. He may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1900s. They're getting farther and farther away every day.
Every day.
We miss them. Today we're watching.
Today we're missing the 1900s most of all.
Today we're missing Superman the Animated Series episode, Superman's Pal. I know that you predicted this. I have no memory at all. It was a month ago that we recorded. I don't know what your prediction was. You want to give a new one?
It was Jimmy, right?
Okay,
Jimmy
then you
Olsen?
did get it right. I didn't want to say that in case you didn't.
Is it Batman?
Oh, it's Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, it's Superman's greatest pal, Batman.
Fucking no! Give me this. Give me Superman and Clayface. I want the Superman and Clayface show.
Being friends? What are they doing as pals?
You know what Clayface does.
Oh, I mean, Superman does like kissing, so as we know, and he likes beans. Which direction are we going here? At the time of this recording,
I have no fucking idea what time it is.
9:01.
It's 9:01.
Oh God, we needed to start this 1 minute ago. Shit, we've been recording for 4 minutes. What assholes?
We started on time.
Yeah, we did.
Just
Actually,
saying.
early.
Yeah.
Superman the Animated Series is streaming on Max.
He's around the corner.
And available on DVD and Blu-ray. She's right there, everybody. Congratulations.
She's just dealing with our bullshit. She's like trying to fall asleep, and she's like, I don't know.
They keep going, wah, 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 and it's so soothing. I just can't fall asleep. And if you'd like to follow along, you can head over to Bitly.
Like fall asleep.
If you'd like to fall asleep, you can head over to Bitly/watchdcau. Links in the show notes. This first aired. Well,
you know what time it is, Jamie? Wait.
58008 time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's 58,008 o'clock.
It's Spoob. Oh my God, he's turning it. Oh, it says boobs as predicted.
God,
wow.
when was the last time you saw an upside down calicter?
Look, we haven't had any food days. Or coffee or anything yet. We're just starting. We're going to while we watch the show. Calicter.
It's a calendar, but you calculate on it and it still says boobs.
Honestly, patent it right now. You'll make so much money. A calculator that you can, a calendar that you can do math on. You just can only use the amount of numbers in a month. Shit, this month it's February. I can only add up to 28.
That's Sudoku. You're just explaining Sudoku.
It's like, what did you already call it? Calicter? Is that what the word? I don't know. It's first aired Saturday, February 20th, 1999 at 8:30 a.m. on Kids WB. 1 week after our last episode, Meltdown, Mr. Freeze. Mm-hmm. This aired number 49 and prod number 51.
Boo.
Womp, womp, womp.
We hate it. We have opinions now.
We don't like different numbers.
We're the angry podcast.
Get the calicter.
Calicter, I think.
This was written by Robert Goodman and directed by Kazumi Fukushima. This is their only DCAU acting. I wrote acting credit. I meant directing credit. Even I was asleep when I wrote the thing even. They also directed 65 episodes of Jace and the Wheeled Warriors, which was a 1985 cartoon that I'd never heard of. 1 episode of Sonic X a few years ago, and 14 episodes of Space Gateers, 1978 anime that I also have never heard of.
Okay, well...
They were a storyboard artist on anime and Western cartoons, including Gargoyles, G.I. Joe, Real Ghostbusters, The Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which Dan Reba directed all of, and Stop! Hiburi-kun from 1983.
Okay.
I've never heard of them. Did you like that list?
I like when you said G.I. Joe and just all the who wants a body massage?
And you had to no, pay attention. Yeah. He's going to say important things like, Stop! Hiburi-kun. Whatever I said before. Body massage machine. Go. The music is by Christopher Carter, Shirley Walker, Michael McQuistion, and Lolita Ridmanis.
That's impossible.
All 4 of them.
Same time?
Don't know why.
Who cares, man? Let's hear it.
And the animation is by Group TAS Co. Limited and Jade Animation. That was our group on the Bizarro Miss Mixie Slick Plick episode that we thought was bad. Brian is mentally preparing.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Hey, whoopah whoopah zany stuff. Buy us a coffee. Head over to the link in the description and send us a Yoppie beverage and support the show. We'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode.
Yeah.
And we'll plug your shit. Yeah. We'll also do a push-up.
Plug your shit.
We'll covered with shit. And we'll also do a push-up for every $1. So send us coffee for our health and your entertainment. Just coffee directly in the mail. Pour it into an envelope and send it our way.
Don't say that.
Why? People will do that.
Someone's going to do it.
Robert Sterling. Today's Yoppie Bevs come to us from, drumroll please. Oh, God, stop. Oh, no, bad. It's from Legacy. It's for the Geek Legacy.
Yeah!
Says, this is addressed to William Osmond, right? Which is a joke that we made a while ago that we've forgotten about already. It's 3. It's 15 push-ups.
I can do that early in the morning.
I can do that. And then we can re-energize with avocado toast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So strong.
That was 15 and a half. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Legacy. Can we plug the comic series?
Oh, yeah. Do whatever you want. Find it on the internet.
Are you ready for this?
Yes. Oh, it's up on his computer. This is no joke. It was already on his screen. He's reading it. He downloaded it off Google Drive.
Legacy shared with me the whole thing.
Hot damn.
Unfortunately, I'm trying to find out. It's in alphabetical order.
Oh no.
And I can't find a way to successfily put it in like chronological
Numerical.
order.
Yeah. Well,
so we got to talk about that. But
don't worry. He'll hear this a month from now.
listener, The Geek Legacy on Facebook and Instagram and Twitch and Patreon.
Hell yeah.
Without giving us a shout out, I would say go look at The Geek Legacy and follow along.
Yeah.
And what else? What else do we plug?
Milk.
Do we plug that?
Oh, in general, just milk.
Milk. It does a body good. And if you know, you know.
Vitamin D.
Yeah.
Strong bones, strong teeth.
Strong everything.
Yeah. I should drink more
Strong
milk.
Legacy. What a legend.
Wow. Wrap it back in.
I got it.
Superman's pal.
Let's go do it.
Let's go be pals with Superman for once in our lives.
Okay.
We won't be.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, Jimmy.
Cut. Hey, Olsen. You're friends with Superman, right? Want to do an interview?
I don't think I'd be real comfortable with that.
Why not? Camera shy?
No, but it's not like I'd call us pals or anything.
Well, you know him, right?
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. So how would you characterize your friendship with Superman?
Real comfortable. I'd call us pals.
There you have it. Superman has a pal. My investigative team has uncovered link after link between the Man of Steel and James Olsen Jr., Jimmy to his friends. According to our research, you single-handedly saved Superman's skin from both the Parasite and Luminous. Plus, we're told you went undercover at his request to crack Intergang's connection to Apocalypse. Is all of this true?
Yeah.
What? Hold it right there! First of all, Superman saved us from Luminous, not the other way around. And second, what am I, chopped liver?
I'm sure Superman likes you too.
Brian spent the last 20 minutes just trying to figure out how we were going to do phone sounds and Alex sounds and soundboard sounds and all transmitting to each other and everybody can hear everything.
Yeah.
And then we figured it out and then we invited Alex and nobody could hear each other or anything. And then it turned out.
Yeah. Listener, you want to go ahead? If you were to give anybody advice who is having AV problems, what would you suggest? I'll give you a moment.
Or internet connective problems, or
is it turn it on and off again, or off and on again? Because that's what it needed. That's what needed to happen.
He literally turned Bluetooth off, and then it switched to the laptop speakers. And Alex is like, "Wait, I can hear you now." No, hang on.
This is ground control to Major Tom.
It's been a while since we've had you on here. I think it was the last what was it? It was action figures, right? It was the Metallo on an island. I don't remember who I am anymore. I'm with children on a volcano.
Roofie Island. Roofie Island.
Yeah, Roofie Island. Yeah, classic jump on the Bat-Wagon.
Well, you didn't give a proper introduction here. Do you want to give a proper introduction?
This is British Dylan Pollock here. Alex Robson is here with he's from Batman the Animated Series podcast with his brother and fucking Paul Dini. I don't want to talk to fucking Paul Dini, piece of shit. We've had this conversation before where I'm like, I'm so jealous of the guys you get on. And you're like, you get guys on your stuff all the time. I'm like, yeah, but not Paul Dini. I want to talk to Paul Dini.
We just all got to do one big round robin, 6 or 8 guests. Just crazy.
We'll just have a round table at some point.
Yeah, why not?
The final episode. Every guest that's ever been on and Paul Dini. We've never met him before. It's all at the same time. Chaos. Hey, welcome, Paul Dini. We're meeting you for the first time. Welcome, whatever the fuck this is. We have 16 people here.
Oh, it seems we're losing Alex. Alex seems to be going away now. I don't know why we've lost him, but he's no longer on the call.
We didn't purposely turn the Bluetooth off just so that he couldn't be on.
Well, Alex, good to see you again. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Going to that British Dylan Pollock thing, which has been making me laugh quite a bit recently. I've seen it before, but it hasn't clicked yet. I watched the movie Parent Trap, which I've seen a million times. But if you think about it, right?
The Lindsay Lohan one?
Yeah, the Lindsay Lohan. If me and Dylan look alike, and I'm British, and he's American, what if we went to a summer camp and suddenly we're like, what? And I taught him how to be British.
You and Dylan also both have brothers that you know and have grown up with your whole lives, but you're like, we might be related.
Stop poking holes in my shit.
Yeah, Jimmy, come on, let him cook.
Sorry. Jimmy, you say?
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Olsen?
No, we're not getting into that. It turns out we're not even going to talk about this episode. We're just going to have fun and we're going to have a good chat and we're not going to bring up the chaos. Because I want to hear. So do you have any further plans about going to
do you have any
summer
further
camp
things to say
with Dylan Pollock? Or is it just like you teach him to be British, he teaches you to be American, and you kind of just like
we just switch, and I meet his parents, and they think I'm Dylan, and he meets my parents, well, my dad, and he thinks that's my son, and then we just he can host Batman the Animated Series podcast. I'll host his podcast, which I've forgotten the name of.
Movies to watch before you die.
Movies to watch before you die.
I think he would be fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I grew up in New Jersey, and he's in New York, so it could, there's
new.
Yeah,
there's new in the name,
like miles apart. This is. I wonder if you ever like passed like on the street somewhere, like you guys were all like sightseeing in Manhattan or something, and just like,
and you both kind of pointed at each other like a Spider-Man meme, and then you walked away. Like, hang on, you look vaguely like me. Are we twins separated at birth and you went to a different country?
You like the DCAU as well?
This is too spooky.
They're both wearing Batman shirts that day. Do you think I know we've seen pictures of Dylan when he was a mullet wearing child.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, did you happen to have a mullet when you were a kid?
No, I wouldn't be caught dead with a mullet, mate. That would my English card would be taken away from me if I had a mullet.
That's fair. What's the British equivalent of a mullet?
Yeah.
Probably like a handlebar mustache. You know what I mean? Like
I was gonna say maybe like Beatles hair, the dome with the flip.
No, I like a good curly mustache, but that's also very common in the circus world. So to me, that's a little like.
But we haven't progressed further than that. We're still in the circus world over in the UK. We don't.
You know what else we haven't
automobiles
progressed further into is this podcast episode about Jimmy Olsen.
Can we not? Can we not?
We can actually. This is what the listeners came here for, is to listen to Alex tell us what happened in Superman's pal.
Synyap, if you're wondering, Synyap, what you just watched, Synyap, take a listen to the synopsis, the short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
I was so tempted to just hit in the middle of that because we were all just doing a little dance and enjoying ourselves.
I'm sorry, you've thrown off the Emperor's Groove.
Sorry.
It's one of those things that I don't think I've ever seen. Like
Like, everybody does it.
Yeah, you just still kind of bob back and forth. You have to. It's just it's perfect. It's such a vibe.
Your theme tunes are absolute quality these days. I've been the new one is so damn good. Yes, that is just that is a banger. As I'm very happy with
it. Thank you.
Yeah,
it is indeed. It's a certified banger.
Okay, we're here to talk about
what the fuck happened.
This. We're here to talk about this certified banger. So let me give this a go. Okay, Superman leads on Jimmy Olsen and makes him think that they're more than just Facebook friends. Then Jimmy uses his fake friendship to try and get laid and doesn't, so he's still a virgin. Then Metallo shows up, and when Metallo showed up, I was like, James, you son of a bitch! Like, I didn't.
I know. I didn't even remember this being why we were like, because that was the joke last time. Oh, it's British, so we'll get the British guy.
Yeah.
And then he walked out of the shadows, and I was like, oh, and I kind of shuffling, like I forgot he was the villain. Yeah.
I can't believe that's happened, but I'm here for it. And then what else?
Purpose this time,
what else? Jimmy almost gets crushed by a dumpster, like in Goldfinger.
dumpster.
A dumpster, well, a trash compactor, whatever. Superman eavesdrops on a private conversation and gets Lois to do a Marilyn Monroe. And then Superman gets assaulted on a school bus, but Jimmy saves the day by dropping acid.
Dropping acid. That's perfect.
And then we all learn a very important lesson on how fake news can ruin people's lives.
And Superman builds a watch.
And we end with anime smiles and silent head nods.
Yeah.
And a friendship bracelet. An earned friendship bracelet.
Friendship watch. It was so tough to not just say to you, Brian, before the episode. Oh, I think I did, right? But as we finished the intro, I said, well, like, this is an awful episode or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was so tough to not just tell you, like, leading into it, like, oh, man, like, this is going to be a rough one. But you already have basically convinced yourself that you don't like the Superman show at this point. So you're just in for whatever's left of it.
Yes. Yeah. It's, oh, God. I don't know. You say I've convinced myself that I don't like Superman. But I think more it's just I don't enjoy it that much. And there's some real stretch episodes where I'm just like, oh, okay, I got to say like something positive about this. This one
this is the one where we don't have
to. Hot ass garbage.
Ooh, that the subtitle top tier hot ass garbage. I mean, it works pretty well. Dropping acid was up there on my list already.
Did you rehearse that? Did you have that written down, Alex?
I only had pointers. I didn't have like the whole thing written down. That was,
by the way, a beautiful synopsis. So short, so good.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have when we get to the episode guide, like, oh, thank Jesus. He said like 3 sentences.
This episode, fucking hell.
Well, the official synopsis is 1 sentence. It says Jimmy Olsen and Superman work together to combat Metallo's return to Metropolis.
Sure.
They didn't really work together at all.
No.
Jimmy was just kind of happened to be there and threw a thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Alex, can I get your solid take on this? How do you feel about this episode?
So
Brian doesn't want to talk about
I felt like this episode, I don't know if you saw it, Brian, I'm sure James, you probably did. The live action Superman show in the 90s, the Adventures of Lois and Clark.
Not all of it, but I've seen, yeah.
Okay, it felt like that type of show to me, this episode. Like it felt kind of low stakes for most of the time and like action sequences that could be done on a TV budget, for the most part. Like I felt like it was an episode of that show. Like Dean Cain was going to show up as Superman any minute.
Yeah, absolutely no reason to, like in animation, you could do literally anything. And they're like, putting him in some sort of story that, that's perfect description is that, it feels like they're like, this episode, it's like the clip show equivalent of like, we needed to just do another episode, but we don't have the time or budget. So like, remember this? But in this time, they actually just made a whole episode on the shoestring that they had. And
remember this explosion from this episode?
Well, I don't even know. I guess I will get to Tribs, but yeah.
I love the idea that was they put in the amount of effort into this show that you would into a clip show, and that
stretched it over 22 minutes. Yeah.
That checks out because it was completely inconsequential most of the time. There was a literal, probably, like, correct me if I'm wrong, like 2 to 3, if not 4-minute sequence of people like ranting at Jimmy, like, you're Superman's pal, and then him running away.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't. You didn't need
with the music from a Batman episode during that sequence.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, it's in Tribs.
I had brought up at the start that there's 4 different composers for this episode. Like all the composers were on this episode, which listing it off at the start makes it sound like oh my god. So there's gonna be a lot of really cool stuff.
Jordan Newman is gonna go fucking crazy for this episode.
Yeah. but then it's like I think they're all credited because I think I would almost put money on every single track in this episode being from a past episode. Because so I knew about what you're talking about, which is, the like Austin Powers montage scene where all the girls are chasing him and all that stuff is music from Joker's Millions, where we have a similar montage where Joker's like golfing and doing all this. It was the exact same music. They just copy pasted it. But when he and Tina are walking out of the restaurant before they get mugged by Stickman, which we'll get to, I'm sure. The music that's playing as they're leaving the restaurant.
You mean Steven Seagal? Because that guy was Steven Seagal.
Yeah, he does look like Steven Seagal.
In fact, they were all lookalikes of actors. There was Chris Christopherson in there. There was Aladdin in there. Mr. Clean and Steven Seagal were all there.
All equal celebrities.
That might be the subtitle of the episode.
But the music when they're leaving the diner, I'm pretty sure it was from World's Finest, like when Lois and Bruce are dancing in their like fancy dinner and stuff.
Wow.
It was like I don't know what again. We don't have any budget for this episode, but we have to make an episode, so they just reuse everything. I don't know.
Yeah, you could tell they're like, we're over here on Batman Beyond now, so you get the scraps.
Yeah. Well, but this is, and I don't want to. I'm not going to spoil anything, but like, this is not indicative of the remaining episodes of Superman. This is a horrible episode. I'm just saying. But
this is, I mean, with just my shitty ass memory, we all know this now. This is the standout by far worst. Like, this episode, I would argue, is on par with our like Sewer King and stuff, Clock King.
I'm honored to be a part of this.
I think like Batman in My Basement was like maybe more entertaining in its stupidity. Yeah. Although this was also bad enough that we just like laughing and questioning and just being like, what is this thing that we're watching?
Yeah. Well, you had to, the favorite bit was when Steven Seagal is hitting him with a rolling pin and they're about to, and Superman grabs the rolling pin in a close-up. And I don't know if you saw this, but we went back and paused it multiple times to make sure we weren't crazy. The next shot, Superman is still theoretically holding the thing, but only the top half is sticking out of his hand and the bottom half is just invisible. It's just gone. He's holding nothing. Yeah. And we had to like pause because it pans by really fast.
The bad guy's holding nothing.
Yeah.
And there's a gap between his hand and Superman's hand. And then Superman is holding the top of a baguette.
Yeah. He just happened to be like pantomiming a big dick right here. Yeah. And he's just holding the top of a stick.
Okay, wait. Also, while we're talking big dicks, can we just
I know. Let me stop you. It's all right. You don't have to compliment me.
I'm honored to be here for this. While we have British Dylan Pollock.
While we're talking big dicks, British Dylan Pollock, can you reel it in and save some cock for the rest of us, please?
He's showing it to us on Zoom. He's showing it. Stop.
It's everywhere. No, it was the lines. There's like some awkward dialogue in here of just like questionable writing. But then there's so many things of like the very end of the episode, like, press that button, Jimmy, and I will come.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a few cum lines.
There was a few cums like, will Superman come? And I'm like, maybe. Like, if he's in the mood.
Do you think Superman will come for him?
Yeah.
And then Brian looked at me, and then I was like, oh yeah, that was a little awkward. And then at the very end, like, just if you ever need help, just press this button and I'll come. And we're like, what the fuck, man? Like, you couldn't have written that any differently.
Jimmy presses it, like, and Superman's like eating dinner, and he's suddenly like, oh
my God. Yeah. It emits a supersonic frequency that hits my balls. Just the right, like, it's just, I don't understand. I don't know. There's so many different ways you can
I make a TikTok request here formally? You like do like that audio clip, and you have like Jimmy like shaking his, like nodding his head with his weird anime face, and then you like superimpose like a hand pressing the button, and then you cut to Superman holding up that bus or whatever, and then you cut in.
That's the TikTok, I guess. Yeah.
Also, that
was a big bus, though.
That baguette that that Jimmy was going to get beaten with, Superman throws it, and I'm like, where's that gonna go?
Into
like,
space.
Yeah. It's gonna come down, and I think it's gonna ruin someone's life. Like a missile, it's gonna go straight through their house, blow up everything that they own, just so Superman could, be cool in a moment.
It didn't do like a Team Rocket ding in the sky, like to indicate that it went like into space. It just disappeared. So it didn't go quite high enough. It didn't leave orbit or whatever.
There's an airplane that's like, oh, folks, if you look out your left window here, we're approaching. Oh, rolling pin, and it just like crashes through the plane.
Another TikTok where it's just the shot of Abin Sur's ship hitting that spaceship and knocking it out and sending it down to Earth. It's just like, but it's the rolling pin.
I also need to question the rolling pin and its atomical features.
Anatomical?
Thank you. So you
it's
had
a nuclear explosion.
Yes.
You mean phallic
So you have
features?
the
Phallic
handle.
is the word. Phallic is what you're looking
Well, yes, it's very phallic, but you had the handle that he was holding on to and then like the rolling pin coming out. There was another handle off at 90 degrees towards the bottom. And
it's like a billy club, but made of wood.
Well, which existed.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a handle here he's holding on to and he only uses in this orientation. But what is this one for? Like he's that one off to the side.
So he can hold it
your
and
wrist.
pretend it's a gun.
Isn't it? Yeah. That's what Steven Seagal would do. Yeah.
Oh, is that a thing where you like it's some like
hold it on
counter
the
pressure or
wrist.
something?
It goes along your wrist like this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like
Okay.
it's called a nightstick over here.
All right.
Superman.
I've heard that, but my dumbass was thinking you hold it like this, and then you just kind of try to hit someone with two hands, boop, boop, which seemed a little less effective than one.
I like how that guy said, Steven Seagal was like, Superman, he put my buddy in the slammer, and I'm going to put you, and I'm like, in the hospital, in the morgue. Holy shit. Yeah.
Steven Seagal's not fucking around.
Steven Seagal just loves killing children. It's fine.
I'm sure he probably does. I don't know. I don't know a lot about that
Also,
guy.
that intern at the start, the one that's shagging Metallo,
Oh, we haven't even talked about her at all.
she's into more than just metal, guys. Like, I know him when I see him. She is into a lot of stuff. Like, I mean,
Well, so my question is like, and I think this is more likely, is she trying to be a freak? Because the first time she's like, you know, she's got her nose pierced and the bracelets, and she's like, oh, I'm into metal. And like, oh, that's a fucking good line, girl. And I'm like, yeah, maybe she's into metal, but like,
The
whatever.
episode just
I
started,
think metal
so maybe
was
it'll be
into
okay.
her.
Yeah. But here's my thought is like, and then later on she says the exact same line in the exact same way. I'm like, oh, you've rehearsed this.
Yeah.
And suddenly
Well, it
it
was
just
the
becomes less
callback,
sincere
whatever,
to
yeah.
me, where she's just like, she says, because I feel like I've known those people who just like, they got a good line and they got some good personality quirk, and then you like see it again and they like replicate it again. You're like, oh, you're trying too hard.
Well, and also I wonder, like, how old is this girl supposed to be? Because she's both making out with Metallo, but also dating like 16-year-old Jimmy Olsen, like going out on a date with him. So it's
I mean,
like,
that
what are
date
we,
was
what are we
ridiculous.
supposed to feel?
That date was absolutely insane. Like the way that Jimmy was like walking with her and talking, I thought he was going to start making up stories about Superman just to like impress her. You know what I mean? Because he knew that like, oh, she's finally going out with me. And I just thought it'd be so funny if he started saying like random shit like, yeah, a lot of people don't know, but you know, Superman, he's a Republican. Really? He is?
Just anything that's completely out of line. Like oh, did you know that Superman actually eats babies? And no, of course I know that. I've seen him do it.
A lot of
He
people don't
kisses
know
everybody
this,
that falls off
but
of buildings.
Superman's a flat earther. He's, he thinks the earth is flat, but he's from space. Like, there's so much evidence.
Yeah, you should know this. He's seen it from space multiple times. Yeah.
He gets
You remember
one
the
right.
JFK assassination? Turns out it was Superman. He was the second gunman.
Really? Yeah, he was there. It was crazy. Also, it'd be so funny if he got one right, though, and he's like, a lot of people don't know this, but Superman, he's actually Clark Kent. She's like, get out. He's like, yeah, takes off the glasses, sees Superman.
See, that would actually be kind of clever if he was doing that. He said that, and then they ended the episode on a button about like, Jimmy, you really like, there was no lesson to that. Like, Jimmy, you can't be doing this, like, even if you got put in this situation, but you can't be telling people that you're my friend, like it'll get you in trouble or whatever.
But here's a watch.
Yeah, well, instead, Superman, he
That'll
instead
make me
says,
come.
like, I know.
But we're not friends. We're not friends. You got a special watch that'll make me come, but that's not a friend thing. All right? Don't confuse this.
I
trying to make a
can
point
the
here.
subtitle please be, here's a watch that'll make me come? You can spell it COME. That's fine.
As per your request, I'll give it the thumbs up. What's your point?
I've lost it. I think Instead of trying to teach Jimmy something, he just says, I know you're going to keep doing this shit. So here's this watch to make me come here to you to help you. Instead of having any reason, let me come here on the top of the Daily Planet. But like, that's why there's a big globe there. If Jimmy had a line like that about like, oh, he's Clark Kent or whatever, and just making shit up to sound cool. And then at the end, as Superman's like, he can't do this shit. Okay, goodbye, and flying away. He's like, I really got to tone it back. I was joking. I was telling her you were Clark Kent. Like that could happen. Something, anything. Yeah. But instead, the episode just exists.
You realize that requires writers.
That's well.
Shots fired! Oh my God! Rolling pins have been thrown
into space, maybe. Well, I'll tell you
that's gotta be no more shots fired, guys. We just gotta start saying rolling pins have been thrown.
Well, everyone will understand what we're talking about.
Those who matter.
This review on Apple Podcasts is very quick. Keep it up, you Yoppie dudes. 5 stars. Really love this podcast. 10 out of 10. What a nice review.
Who's that from?
That's from RK2003 $sign.
I love that.
Let me tell you guys the cast of this episode. Yeah. It's Tim Daly as Superman / Clark Kent. It's Dana Delaney as Lois Lane, who, like you said, did a Marilyn Monroe for some reason and had anime eyes herself with the little sparkles and blush and whatever. And you were leaving the room to like get tea as that happened, and then you just were gone for like 30 seconds. Like you were like glancing back as you were getting tea. Obviously, you're just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I know, but I was just like, are you done with this one or whatever? Like, you're in there.
Yes.
Malcolm McDowell as Metallo. David Kaufman as Jimmy Olsen. These are all returning people. We have Dina Sherman as Tina. She was previously Emmy Lou Brown in Critters. The daughter. Those are her 2 DCAU characters. We interviewed her years ago, and we're talking about, I don't remember which one. I think they recorded them both around the same time or whatever. But like, I remember for whatever reason, I brought up to her the whole bit when they're fighting inside the RV, her and Jimmy. And he has a little like tire wrench thing, and she goes yeah and kicks it out of his hand. There's like a close up of her doing like a roundhouse kick.
Yeah,
and then they reuse that exact same shot as he pulls up a chair. So she's going and he's like, oh, what could I do? A chair. Let me slowly move it. And then they cut to the same shot of her spinning and kick into the chair, and a chair cut. How did that happen? And I was like,
and
come on.
He like just slowly pushes the chair away like a bulldozer, and she, oh no.
How did I get in this closet?
Fuck, it's so bad.
Lauren Tom as Angela Chen. Dave Walsh as, get this, they did not say his name in the episode. I was listening for it. The Steven Seagal guy is credited, his official character name is Captain Croissant.
No, it's not.
I have no fucking idea. That's in the credits. I don't know why the hell he's called Captain Croissant.
Was it a croissant? It was a croissant that he didn't do the curly bit to. It was just flat. Yeah. So it was a baguette.
It was bread.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Captain Croissant? Who made that decision?
Well, that's my new favorite DCAU character. It's Captain. Yeah.
I gotta ask somebody about that. Like, Robert Goodman, what the fuck was this?
Wow.
He's Dave Walsh. He's only ever acted in 18 other things, including bit parts in Family Guy, Power Rangers, and Beetleborgs. Mostly an audio crew member. So I think he was probably like an audio engineer they just pulled in to do the voice or something. He was involved with ADR recording or sound engineering for Power Rangers, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, X-Men Days of Future Past, and the Silent Hill and Resident Evil video games.
Fuck yeah.
So,
okay.
So why? And now he's Captain Croissant. So
Good.
I think you have to choose the name. They're like, we're not going to pay you, but you can choose your character's name today.
You can pick your character. Yeah. Y'all want to be Captain Croissant? All right. Well, we did say you could choose it. Not like Tim or something. Richard? No, Captain Croissant.
Captain Croissant. He's like just such a thug too. It's like, yo, Captain Croissant.
Yeah. After doing a Steven Seagal impression. Maybe it was a little Steven Seagal. Larry Cedar as restaurant owner, which I guess was the guy yelling at, hey, I'm not done talking to you. Get back here. He was previously first mate in Speed Demons. Some guy on the ship.
That should be Captain Croissant, the fucking restaurant.
Yeah,
he was in a chef's outfit and everything. That's Captain Croissant.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I don't think so, though. John Mariano as short order cook. So maybe this is the guy in the rest. I don't know who the fuck is restaurant owner.
Okay, wait.
He went to a lot of eateries apparently because there was a lot of chefs.
That's true.
There's the one he went on the date.
Yeah, and they're like, tell Superman the thing for me.
Like the meal is on us. And then there was the dude who was like, I'm not done talking to you.
There's no soup for you, he said.
No soup for you.
Tell Superman the Deputy Danish said hi.
That's his sidekick. That's Captain Croissant's sidekick. John Mariano was additional voices in Heart of Ice, Vincenzo in Torch Song, and Agent Number 3 in Where There's Smoke. We have Charlie Rocket as used car salesman. Again, was it someone following him around? Probably. He was previously Guru in Never Fear, Frederick Fournier in Mean Seasons, and Rob in Legends of the Dark Knight. That's your brother's name. He was in Legends of the Dark Knight. That's
my brother's name is Will. Everyone, there's a few listeners.
I'm thinking of fucking Robson. Never mind. I'm fucking stupid.
There were a few listeners that they were like, Rob was so funny in this episode. I'm like, who the fuck is Rob? Like, it happens all the time. They're fine with my name being
Your
Alex.
dad, apparently. You're the son of Rob. So.
Weird.
That's just my brain doing meltings. And last is Melissa Disney as college girl. I guess probably one of the Austin Powers running people.
Is there anybody in your family named Rob Robson?
Yeah.
My grandfather was named Robert, so Robbie for short. Yeah, and he was the Robson side.
Fuck
it was Robbie Robson.
Okay.
That's amazing.
That sounds like a cool name. I like it. You should change your name to that. I don't know why you went with British Dylan Pollock, but that's much better.
Yeah, that's my middle name.
Robert British Dylan Pollock Robson. Melissa Disney was also Blade and Golem, the popular girl. Trivs. You want to hear some trivs? They're surprisingly there are
Can I shout out a triv that I noticed before you even say it?
Yeah.
So I'm not like, I noticed that afterwards, which could be a lie. I think that the whole car chase scene at the beginning was a riff on O.J. Simpson. Because it was
oh my god!
It was a Bronco being chased by a bunch of cops
right outside the door. Yeah,
and it was going through, and it was like a chase that everyone started watching on TV. Like Superman's just like OJ's innocent. Let me just take the car away from this whole scene.
We'll get somewhere safe, Mr. Simpson.
That's I like that. And also, what happened to him? Superman put him on a barrel, and he's like,
I was trying to think of like. I again, like we've said, I didn't remember that Metallo was the bad guy in this because I was just like, fuck this episode. It's gone from my mind. And even though I'm pretty sure obviously I knew that at some point, but the whole opening scene with the car chase, I was thinking like, how does this involve with the plot again? And then it just didn't. It was just something for Superman to do that Jimmy Olsen could be next to so that Angela Chen could go, oh, you helped him and start the plot. But yeah, it was just that was the initial tip off to the animation is terrible.
Garbage,
It was the car.
It belonged in the dump with Metallo. It was real bad.
Yeah. Bold and brash, more like belongs in the trash. There was a bit. It was like the car chase was happening, and we're like, whatever it looks. But there was a particular shot where, first of all, the helicopters just run into each other. And then they kind of tink off each other and just slide down, and it looked awful. And then it cut down to Superman, who was about to lift up the truck, or he just did or something. and the police cars are just frozen in the background. They're not touching the ground. They're not driving. They're not moving. Yeah. I'm like, what in the world, man?
Jimmy's eyes changed color at one point. Like I saw his eyes go from green to blue.
That actually was the first thing I have is his eyebrows also changed from black to orange and then several times in the episode.
The final trip, I swear, and then I'll shut the fuck up, is that the Channel 3 news logo is the Fantastic Four logo. Have we talked about that? Have you talked about that?
Yeah.
It's the Fantastic Four logo, but it's 3 instead of 4. But it's the same
with a circle around it.
Yeah, but it's blue and it's on white and it's the same. It's the same exact shit.
Kind of like slightly connected to the circle. Yeah.
Wow, that rocks my world a little bit.
You also said the thing, Brian. You said the thing about like. Oh, cross-eyed about Lois Lane at the very top when
everyone's eyes were going everywhere.
Right when you said that, then it cut to Angela Chen in the helicopter, like this is happening right now, and her eyes are just bugging out 2 different directions. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, really,
Superman's about to come.
So am I. Oh, all right. When Jimmy listens to the man telling him about a time when Superman saved him from a sinking boat, Jimmy's eyes go invisible, revealing the background of buildings behind him as he walks.
I saw something that messed with my head, and I was like, "Wait, what's going on?" I didn't realize that's what went on.
I did. It reminds me that there's so many bad things about this episode. But just whenever Jimmy walks, Jimmy's still in the Daily Planet building, and he goes down 1 floor in the elevator. It seems. Or at least down to the ground floor somewhere in the building still. And the guy walking by with bagels is like, "Hey, Superman's pal, breakfast on the house," or whatever. He's like, "Oh, a bagel, cool." And then everyone goes, "Superman's pal?" And looks at him. And the news story just happened like 5 minutes ago. And everyone in the whole building has heard of Superman's pal. Day. Okay, well, either way. They work with him.
Yeah.
They say, what do you mean his name is Superman's pal? And it's him right there. He's fucking.
Also, he's the only photographer we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Do you think they just saw free bagels and they're like, free bagels?
Yeah. Oh, I'm also Superman's pal. That's more likely. Yeah.
I'm Superman's pal, and so is my wife.
He comes for her.
He comes for bagels. Apparently, her hands go through her skirt when
oh no!
This respect to the schmear, says Superman.
Please don't.
Yeah, her hands go through her skirt when she does the Marilyn Monroe thing, apparently, but that's not the part I was paying attention to. So I don't know.
What were you paying attention to?
I've meant too many things. The title, Superman's
pal. I tried to hit pause, but I got nowhere with it.
Yeah, I was going frame by frame. All I could see was how her eyelashes turned white for some reason.
She turned into Marilyn Manson if you go frame by frame. She goes from Marilyn Monroe
to Marilyn Manson. It's thing weird. In Man of Steel, where you're like, his face sometimes looks like Christopher Reeve, but it's just her face is Marilyn Manson for a second. I don't know why they did that. They put so much effort. The title, Superman's Pal, comes from a series of Jimmy-centric comics during the Silver Age. This is like the 60s-ish. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, which ran for 20 years from 1954 to 1974.
What the fuck?
Imagine 20 years of comics like this episode.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So
I'm buying you that for your birthday, Brian.
My birthday is in 7 days.
Yeah.
Get on it.
All right, I'm on eBay right now.
Several of them featured Olsen gaining superpowers, including turning into a giant turtle. Every single one of them is like, Jimmy got a new stupid superpower, and Superman has to figure out what the fuck to do.
Wow.
And it's zany hijinks ensue. So, like, but naming this episode after that, but then doing the most bottom level nothing plot with it is like almost a disservice to like, we can do the zany Jimmy Olsen thing from the 60s, except Jimmy's going to have a tire iron and that's it. He's going to be hit with a baguette by Steven Seagal. What a
and he's
crazy,
gonna make
wacky
Superman
time.
come.
Yeah.
I think my biggest question now is like, what happens at the end? So we have like OJ in his like truck on some barrels. We have Metallo.
Which, by the way, it didn't even register to me that was the guy they were chasing. I thought Superman was just lifting a truck out of the way so the police could
I thought
get
that
after the guy.
Too, and I kind of
because also the little like background character model for the guy driving the truck is like the same one they use for every truck driver in every show. So I was just like, oh, it's truck driver guy. And then that was the criminal they were chasing.
Island.
Like what the? Yeah, I was like, honestly, it was like, what the fuck? Like, what did he do? Like, I want to like track the history of this man. And like, he apparently was evading the police in a high speed chase,
pretending to drive still whilst like Superman was flying the car.
This
like he was
truck
like,
can fly. Holy shit!
We don't have any good like wrap up, do we?
Not really, no.
Because you just like the what was the girl that likes metal and other things? Tina. Like what happens with Tina? What happens with Metallo? Like,
oh yeah, where did she go? What? Yeah, what? Yeah. Okay.
Did I blank it out?
It's true.
What Metallo got his kryptonite heart battery acid melted in 3 seconds out of his body, and then he fell over, and then they faded to coming on a rooftop. So
he got crushed by a bunch of cars, and
But
then
not
like
really.
started to stir, but not really. It's true. Like, did he just lay there like, I'm out, I'm done now, like no more
don't
kryptonite
know.
heart for
Yeah.
me. Yet I can still live without my heart, which doesn't make any sense. We've already talked about this. It makes
The
no
fact
sense that he can live
Brian's
without that.
girlfriend even pointed out that we had the whole fight was let me open my chest and the green, and oh no, the green, and then I'll throw some shit at him to stop him for a second, and then Metallo goes the shit, get the shit out of the way, have some green, Superman, and then he goes the green, and it just kept happening. It happened literally 5 times, I think. I'm like, okay, you can't come up with anything else.
I really kind of particularly love that Superman, who's like, we've seen him be like a real thinker, and he's solved some problems, and he's like really like, he's like tackled some crazy shit head on. And with Metallo, he like gets into like the trash compactor.
It's called
Superman's,
a dumpster.
Yeah. And Superman does like what a little kid would do when trying to cover up a problem. He literally just piles on cars, and he's like, we're good now, Jimmy. Everything's fine.
Jimmy did that too. He just pushed the Tina into the closet and locked her in. That's what happened to her. She's still stuck in that RV at the dump.
We've already proven. Yeah, she's dead. She's dead. It's
like
fine.
6 years later. Oh fuck! We never
wakes up in bed.
Well, she loved metal, and metal is what killed her.
Yeah,
but it's so like, it's just so inconsequential. It's just like, we know that he's strong enough that like Superman gently piling cars on top is not going to solve the problem. It doesn't go away just because you like swept it under the rug.
Yeah,
and Superman's like, I got an idea. I put car on bad guy.
What if I
He's
put
fixed
6
now.
car on?
Yeah,
that'll do it. Yeah. Oh no, the green.
What's the thing? Like, he throws a car at him, and he's like, "Is that the best you can do?" And then we get this like a Looney Tunes-esque Superman just throwing cars as fast as he can.
No, I think he said something along the lines of like, want a care to try again.
Yeah,
like it was like almost like a Windows 95 children's game prompt. Like, you fucked up the thing, and it's like, would you care to try again? And then he throws 2 more cars at him. I see you're trying to bury me in cars, Superman. Oh my God. Would you like some help with that? I would recommend more cars. And then he does it.
Oh my God!
He's made of metal. They're
Also,
both,
his whole thing with the kryptonite heart, he's wearing his shirt. Superman is right in front of him. Nothing. He rips off his shirt, and then he's like,
already.
Kryptonite.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he didn't
how
open.
did the
He
shirt
didn't have the little door open. It was just already open. Yeah. I don't know.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and you had a question. You said, why is Metallo's skin back? Wasn't he like skinless last time we saw him? And then it reminded me that both of us blacked out the Steel episode where he had his skin back because his friends at Intergang provided him with more skin or whatever.
But this time they just do half a face of skin.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's his normal 2-face look. Yeah.
Yeah. Metallo, he's got so much potential, but he just, I don't know. Recently,
well, it was like the first episode, his first episode I have on my Superman top 10 was like, I thought it was very impactful. Like, I almost felt bad for him. Like, he can't feel anything. Apparently he feels something in metallic pants with Tina in this episode. But other than that, I don't know.
And now he's just hanging out in the Breaking Bad trailer, like making meth with the metal girl.
Are you ready to
It'd be
cook,
so funny
Tina?
if she's just like, yeah, Metallo, bitch, let's do this, bitch, let's cook, bitch.
Yeah. She's just getting really excited.
Which you seem pretty excitable.
Yeah. Jimmy does have a Superman signal watch in the comics. In the Silver Age, it was a gift from Superman. However, in the post-crisis comics, he made it himself.
Okay.
What do you think of the?
Where did Superman get it from? Where did he get it from?
I don't.
Like where?
Yeah, he just.
said he
I made
made it.
this for you. Yeah.
Is it just a dog whistle?
Yeah, well,
Is it ultrasonic?
Oh,
Like
Jimmy, blow in this and I'll come.
he's just
put
telling
this
this
to your lips and I'll
telling
come.
this to a teenager on the rooftop. All you have to do, Jimmy, is put your mouth on the thing I made you. And Lois Lane opens the door right as he's saying that, and I'll come. What? What are you talking about?
How many times do you think Jimmy set off that alarm by accident as well? Like the amount of times, like he'd be like having a full-on wank and he sets it off and Superman flies
wearing
in
it,
and just catches him, just
Superman
spanking it. He's like, oh, Jimmy.
I'm here. What do you need? Yeah. Well, I feel like this is like a.
Well, it's trade for trade. Maybe he's just like, I don't know. Maybe he needs that like voyeuristic thing. Know that Superman's going to be there, and then he comes, and then because he's pressed the button, now Superman's coming.
He knows somewhere Superman's coming, and he gets him up. I'm trying to remember what cartoon it is. I don't know if it's like Fairly Odd Parents or something, but there's definitely. Maybe I was on. I don't know where you're going with this, James. Were you on those weird websites? There's some episode of something else where there's like, just ring this bell and I'll show up or whatever, and then the main character is like abusing it constantly, and they have to be like, okay, like you don't need me to like pick up the sandwich for you or whatever. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
is it
do.
SpongeBob? Is it?
I think it's SpongeBob, and I think it was a.
Is it when he? I might be thinking of when Squidward is jobless and just in the bed, and he keeps ringing stuff for SpongeBob. Oh, can you bring me soup? Can you do this thing? But it doesn't feel quite right. Either way, you know the trope I'm talking about. I feel like Jimmy would be doing that with this, of just like, oh, thank God, I can just direct contact Superman.
Well, he did. Superman said to like, don't abuse it.
Yeah, I guess so. But you would need a little off-screen episode of like, oh fuck, I'm out of orange juice. Just. And Superman shows up and is like, oh my God, like where's Steven Seagal? Is he going to kill you? And, I just, it would be so inconvenient to go to the store right now. And are you fucking kidding me? I came for this.
I came for this.
The last
His
thing I've
trunks
got.
are just crusty.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Superman, why is it darker red in the center there? I don't know.
Or maybe white.
Yeah.
Superman, I thought you used to have red shorts. What happened?
You keep pressing the button, Jimmy. I told you. I didn't show up here because you pressed the button. I showed up because
Superman comes so much in my life.
we've
those words have
graduated
never.
from Superman kissing to other things at this point.
Well, to be fair, also, I don't think Superman said it so much as he did in this episode. So you're in good company.
That's true.
It's true.
The last thing I've got is Bruce Timm has referred to this episode as one of the worst of the series and of the entire DCAU.
Agreed.
Though compliments David Kaufman on his performance as Jimmy. We now have the full list of Bruce Timm's least favorite episodes, which is as follows: Superman's Pal, Cat Scratch Fever, Animal Act, Heavy Metal, and The Terrible Trio, his nomination for all-time worst DCAU episode.
Heavy Metal, though.
Yeah.
I don't think it belongs on the list.
We have it on the bottom 10.
But in a good way.
I don't think so. No, I mean it was just kind of like a lame episode. It wasn't like.
Is that another Metallo episode?
Yeah, it was another Metallo episode.
Oh,
yeah.
wait,
that's the Steel
I'm
episode.
mistaken.
What are you
then.
thinking of?
What was the first Lobo episode called?
Oh, the main man.
Yeah,
Fuck,
yeah, God damn it!
Little girl lost.
Growing pains.
Yes.
Yes, I got it.
Pains.
This is like 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but with the DCAU. You're like, you got to say episodes to get there.
We're not even halfway through. He's gonna have so many titles to remember. But
God damn it!
I
need to go on record. I'm not the professional here. I'm the heel. I'm the butt of the jokes for this podcast. Okay,
absolutely.
Don't expect the good things out of me.
You're comparing it to the Sewer King episode and that kind of stuff a bit ago, and it made me think of like, I don't know if it's caused by how deep we are into this at this point or whatever, but it's like when we watched, God, I can't even think of what that episode's called, The Underdwellers, or I've Got Batman in My Basement, or any of these like kind of early on Batman episodes that we were just losing our mind. And like that was the thing. It was like in the Sewer King episode, there was a shot where Batman drops down in front of a police car as it's driving. The headlights are shining on him. And then it cuts to a shot of the policewoman's face going, and her eyeballs are bat signals. And it was like, you and I just like exploded with like, what the fuck? Like we were so like, what is this? What is happening? But now we're like, kind of used to like, okay, there's just every once in a while there's going to be some like ridiculous episode. And it was one that if we had been watching Superman from the start and this happened, I feel like we'd just be screaming and laughing and crying and dying.
Yeah,
but
like this episode is so bad that it makes Underdwellers look like fucking Citizen Kane.
At least Underdwellers was trying to do something. Like it was trying to have a lesson about like abuse of children and all this kind of stuff.
We like Underdwellers in this house. We like that episode. And I've got Batman in my basement. Yeah.
But I just don't understand what this episode's point was, I guess. This Jimmy Olsen one. It's just so like dumb.
He learned no lessons. He got a watch.
Yeah.
He's still a virgin.
Jimmy, for being a piece of shit and failing at everything, here's a watch that makes me come. And then that's all the episode is, literally. I don't know. But
also we have Tina. The whole thing with Tina, too, is that she's like ramping up to be some supervillain. And like she's a mastermind. Like, oh, yeah, I like faked this thing in the alleyway with these thugs. And I got Jimmy out on a date. It was the worst day of my life. Mm-hmm. And just like, who is this chick?
Yeah.
Like, what is...
Also, Bruce Timm stereotypes like... those like types of people. Like she looks like Cassie from Firefly. She looks like the singer. She looks like, sort of like I'm in the metal and like I'm cool and I'm like kind of grunge and alternative. And it's like Bruce Timm has like a stereotype for looks on that, like lots of bracelets, short blonde hair, like some sort of like black skimpy outfit that's kind of like punk
and
as well,
underlying like, cringe or whatever. Like it can't actually be cool or whatever. Yeah, I'm into metal, and you're like, hell yeah, you are. Oh, you're the bad guy. All right. you're the joke or whatever. Yeah. Let's do Keen effects.
Keen.
I have exactly one, and a shot I actually liked was it was right before Metallo got magnetized to the roof of the bus. He's like on all fours over Superman with the beam coming out, and the green light is bouncing off of him in an actually pretty keen way. And he was drawn well. There's the shot of the episode that was good, but it's immediately followed up by him getting magnetized to the roof. What's happening? And then it cuts to an outer view of the bus where you're looking in through the window, and it's like, even though this doesn't make any sense, it's like he reverted to his default animation like starting point, because his face is completely blank and he's just stuck up there with his arms out. So he looks like he's like T-posing or whatever, as if like they're like, oh, just draw his model sheet. Like, don't even worry about it or whatever. It was just like, why is that the next
for
thing?
Your sins.
That's what it is. This episode's an allegory for religion.
Yeah.
We figured it out, guys.
Metallo was British Jesus. I don't know if there's anything. Do either of you have any other keen effects to speak of?
I thought the helicopter blades were interesting in their amorphous
first time
nature.
you saw them,
But other than that, no. Alex, you got anything?
I liked Jesus. What did I like? I guess the only thing that I liked Jesus on the giant magnet.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing that I thought like looked kind of cool, just because I haven't watched the Superman episode in a very long time. Like the last Superman episode I watched was with you guys. However, a year or so ago.
Okay, yeah.
So like just going back into that world. I guess that was it helped me in this episode, like enjoy it. Not a lot, but like a little bit more just to be back in Metropolis. I liked certain like shots of Superman that I could see that I was like, oh, I haven't seen Superman in a while and he looks good there. Or like Lois doing her Marilyn Monroe, like that was all right. That wasn't bad.
I mean, honestly, like the animation of that wasn't bad.
It was just stood out as like, what? Yeah. Why'd you do that?
It was a little out of pocket. Yeah.
Well, and that same.
And did they wonder
scene-
why Superman was in the Daily Planet? Because he came from inside.
Or they
Holy
just,
shit!
they just thought the window
there's
was
a
open.
lot there. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Perry White just had his window open already, so a big gust of wind came in and out at the same time. I don't know. They would have seen something.
They, whoa.
You know,
There's
like when-
something
I
there.
mean, we
When,
saw
like-
Superman. They saw Superman, right?
Yeah.
So here's the next question. Where the fuck are Clark Kent's clothes?
In a closet somewhere. On the ground, he just left them there. Yeah.
So then like a janitor comes into the closet to like put his mop away or whatever, and he's like, why is there a naked man running around the office? Like everybody locked down. We need something's going on.
I don't
here.
know if we've made this joke before, but I've always liked imagining that both the Clark Kent suit and the Superman suit. Well, the Superman suit, first of all, at least must be pretty thin, because if he's wearing it under his suit and he's not walking around all bulky like, no, I'm just wearing a suit and that's it, don't worry about it. But I like imagining both are extremely thin, and he's actually got about 16 layers of them on under. So he has
keeps
Clark
ripping
Kent
them off.
under Superman, under Clark Kent, under
What,
Superman.
like Joey in Friends, where he's
Yeah,
wearing all of
exactly.
Chandler's clothes?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
That same scene with the Marilyn Monroe thing was like when a good shot of Superman was Clark Kent walking up to overhear that. There was like a close up of him just walking up to the camera and kind of going, I'm hearing Perry White say a weird thing. And that was just a particularly well drawn shot of his face. And there's just like such a strange amalgam of, okay, that was fine. And what is this? And then, okay, that was okay. Like even Superman lifting the truck was just a perfectly straight on profile.
Yeah,
angle.
that was
And
a
you were
weird
what?
shot.
Yeah. And it
was very
putting it on-
two-dimensional,
Yeah.
and it looked like, okay, we need to like blur out the background. So someone like did like a blurry watercolor, and they're
Yeah.
like, perfect background. Now do two-dimensional like original South Park animation.
Yeah.
If I had a suit that protected me from kryptonite,
Yeah.
because Metallo says like, "Oh, you're not wearing your suit now," and like,
Yeah.
I just make that my superhero suit. Like, you can change
Yeah,
faster than the
just-
speed of bullet. Just
Yeah.
wear that. Like, why are you like, no, I must wear my blue and red. Like, just wear the fucking kryptonite suit.
Go
Job
to
done.
Hamilton
You're fine.
and say, like,
Yeah.
can you make a normal looking costume out of this so I don't have to wear a hazmat
Well,
suit
why don't you just
everywhere?
like
Yeah.
wear like an underlayer?
Oh, that too. Yeah.
He
'Cause
forgets
obviously,
to
like-
take the helmet off
Yeah.
his car. He's
Yeah.
like walking around the Daily Planet. Everyone's like, Superman?
It has like an
no.
S on the forehead or something.
He's like, no, I'm wearing glasses. They're like, oh, right, you're Clark.
Yeah,
You're Clark.
Superman, let me borrow this.
It's the new look.
Yeah, it's time for Jordan Blumen's musical minute.
Hey, music.
This is from Superman's pal. Musical, whatever it's called at this point, he says.
Now over to the musical moment. I really like the slow buildup of the sort of jazzy music in the background as Jimmy starts to get famous. And he's like, you know, getting special privilege at restaurants and stuff. Great dramatic chase music when Jimmy gets attacked immediately after that by the thugs who are like, I'm gonna beat up Superman's best pal. But my favorite musical tidbit about this is that during the big montage where
there it
everyone's
is.
approaching Jimmy for like everything now that he's super famous, the music that's playing is the same reused music from when Joker got super rich and they did a montage of him buying a house and playing golf and stuff. It's the same. I went and checked. It's the same music. And I also love that the music goes kind of full horror movie spooky stuff when the I Love Metal lady starts kissing Metallica. That was fun. It's good music. Never apologize for loving your fandom and try to stay optimistic.
Thank you, Jordan.
Oh my God! So of course,
Take
Jordan.
my hand. We're up to dumpster land.
Dumpster Land. It's a
I'm
new
glad-
theme park in Gotham City.
I'm glad that at least we have Jordan who can like. He's like, I'm just here for the music.
Yeah.
we can have like a decent civil conversation about the
It
music.
could have gone so many ways. Man.
But it is interesting that we had a full cast sort of ensemble of composers, and on top of one of the worst episodes ever. It's weird that you can have something
Yeah.
so good and so bad.
I mean,
Because music is like, there's nothing to complain about from the music. It was great. It was great. It was reused, but it
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
It was great the first time it was played. Why not
it
play
was
it
great
again?
in past episodes. Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the Metallo theme, the dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, like those
boom, boom.
strings just
Yeah,
going. Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
Which that was the tip off to like, oh yeah, it's Metallo when they're like panning up to him in the RV and and I'm like, oh fuck,
and I went,
okay.
James, you son of a bitch.
And then we locked hands in a big muscle handshake.
Instead of Dylan, you son of a bitch, you can have the British version for me, which could be British Dylan.
Oi,
you
Dylan.
fucking cunt.
You wanker.
That's going to be your new theme anytime we get you on.
Arnold
Special guest
Schwarzenegger
Alec
doing
Robson.
British accent,
You fucking cunt.
We have the Superman's powers segment. I don't think I'm going to add fucking watchmaking to
Superman Swiss.
Yeah, what do you want to call that?
So Dr. Manhattan level powers.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the last one we added was Bong Vision from Absolute Power, where you can see the vapor trails.
Well, that's Metallo in this episode as well. He's got like, I don't know, like chesty cough or whatever.
Chest green. Yeah, chesty cough. What do you call what?
Battery, dude, battery acid has a superpower in this episode because, like, again, I was saying, like, there's not an acid on the planet that's what's that? The Black Death kind of acid. I can't remember what it's called. It'll melt stuff faster, but it's going to take like a solid minute and a half of like dropping a small thing into like a big vat of it to like actually have it disintegrate things. This was just like a quick cum of battery acid, and he's just like, oh, conveniently on my heart.
Yeah. Well, and also I thought that was just like oil or something. Like it was a brown liquid, and then he just went like battery acid, and I thought, I had the same thought of like, I don't even know this kind of shit, and I know that battery acid.
Yeah, he shook it up like a cocktail too.
Yeah.
He was like,
He did like this. I don't understand what's going on.
Jimmy, you're not wearing your watch. How are you doing that?
I mean, like, if I remember correctly, you can use vinegar in a wet cell battery to get a similar, like, the charge won't last as long, but it's still as effective.
That's how you take out Metallo, with like a fucking vinaigrette dressing.
Oh, yeah. Some balsamic. Oh, shit.
The name of this power might take some leaps to understand, but I've named it Super Cum Wache, and his ability to make a watch that will make him come. So
that worked out for That's pretty good? That's good. Once you explain it, it's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's okay.
All right.
B-.
Okay. Let me get back to the other fucking document now. How strong was Superman 1 through 10? He couldn't lift a bus, but he lifted a truck. Okay. He stopped a helicopter.
He like fixed a bridge. Of course he can lift a bus.
Fixed a bridge. Did he do that in this episode?
The pedestrian bridge that the helicopters landed on.
I don't remember.
In
that
the OJ
significantly heavier than a bus. Significantly heavier.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe you. But he was struggling holding the bus too. I think it was because it was pressing down or something.
Well, maybe because he got greened.
Oh, that's true. He did get greened. I'll give him a 4.
Okay.
I don't care. 4 space rolling pins at this point. I don't fucking know.
Alex, you got a rating for this?
I'll give him...
Or for Superman's strength, yeah.
Yeah, for his strength, I'll give him 3... Oh, you said the rolling pins, you bastard. Does it have to be strength related or no?
No, there's an object.
Okay, 3 Steven Seagals out of Steven Seagals.
Steven Seagals. Yeah.
I feel like because of that pedestrian bridge thing, I think I'll give it a little bit higher. I'll go like 4.5.
There you go.
OJ Simpson car chases out of 10.
White Broncos out of 10.
White Broncos out of 10.
Where is Clayface in this episode? He's one of the girls chasing after Jimmy.
All of the girls chasing after Jimmy.
He sure is. Yeah,
he's the battery acid to me.
Oh no.
Ooh, yeah.
That's why it worked so quickly.
Yeah. I like
little
that.
Clayface going.
Metallo's like refried beans. No, I hate refried beans.
My weakness.
Oh God, I've got like one of my ulcer. Like, oh man, I've got like
this is hard. It's my arteries.
Acid reflux. Yeah, my acid reflux is kicking in.
Acid reflux. There you go. All right, the Balderarchy.
He's bald, I'm bald, we're all bald. But who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's final call. The Balderarchy.
Mr. Clean in the group.
Oh, yeah, he was bald. Good job. Good job.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Clean. Let's do that.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Clean off diet because he was chonky.
What's happening with this?
What happened? What happened to Lex? He was like...
He was not been here for a long time. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
He vanished.
Yeah. What was this called? A Superman's pal. I'm just like trying to forget everything. Superman's
apparently
pal, Mr. Clean. I'm just gonna put in parentheses bald
thug,
street thug. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And Steven Seagal's henchman.
Part of Steven Seagal. That's what they call themselves.
Yeah, the Seagals.
The Seagal gang. Yeah, the Seagals.
The Seagals?
And they're like, we're not. Yeah, the Seagals. Yeah. But they, exactly. Like they're like, we're not women, but we're part of the gal. We're one of the gals. Like, we're part of.
We celebrate Galentine's Day.
They have a stitch and bitch on Thursday. It's fine.
We have thoughts of the week with American Dylan Pollock.
Coming up next, it's another guest appearance from our favorite visiting superhero.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
You fucking cunt.
It says, imagine if every superhero had a designated buddy.
It's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on Superman's pal. Or, no, seriously, it's a Jimmy Olsen-centric episode. Seriously, for real. Question for y'all. Clark is looking at the car chase on TV. Could he x-ray the image on TV to see the car's insides, or would he just see inside the TV? Not the question of the week, just a thought. As stupid as this whole thing is, this is a cute concept for a comic book and an episode. I do kind of dig it. Also, I 1000% forgot this was a Metallo episode.
Yeah.
Also, what a garbage plan. I thought he would hold Jimmy or Lois hostage more, but does this just hurt Superman by murdering someone or what? But also, an unprotected Superman without his condom? Someone could get super pregnant. Also, when did making watches become a Superman hobby, or what's the deal there? Does somebody else make them? Is that a comic book thing? James, who makes these watches? But who makes the question of the week? I do. James' favorite part.
Okay, thank you.
If you could be any superhero's pal, which superhero would you choose? I feel like I would choose Domino for me, since she's nothing but good luck, isn't she? Also, she was Zazie Beetz, who kind of had a thing for Zazie Beetz. Just gonna put it out there.
Yeah,
okay, I love you, but
we all do.
Valid, yes.
I love you, baby.
I'll be friends with Superman, so I can make him come. I'll be pals with I don't know. I like Batman a lot, but I wouldn't want to be his friend. He'd be a piece of shit to me. He'd leave me places. He would not respect me. I'd have nothing to offer. I don't know. But you'd have to be some hero where like being their friend had a point. Like I guess like the Flash maybe, because
I've got an easy answer.
Okay, all right. Well,
but does it have to be superhero?
I don't know. A comic book character? What?
Poison Ivy.
Oh, okay, sure. But she'd probably poison you and kill you.
I don't know, man.
She'd come out. Hey, wait. We agree on many things.
Yeah. Like I think you are the most logical person in all of this. Can we be friends? Like, let's maybe not drink tea. I don't know where she stands on that. But like, also my little cuck answer would also be a villain-ish, and I want to be there for Mr. Freeze.
Okay, I thought you were going to say you're still choosing Poison Ivy, but it was like, you and Harley just do your thing. I'll sit in the corner. I don't have to be a part of this if you want.
I've got my watch on. Yeah, I've got my watch on. I'm ready to go.
It has the Brian logo, so I know it makes me come.
I made that mistake before.
Yeah. Depends on where you put the logo. Yeah. It's not working somewhere else. Superman's like, oh my god, stop with that.
It's like the end of Orgasmo.
Yeah.
Alex, have you got a thought?
Yeah.
Any pal? Anyone you want a pal?
Superhero pal. I mean, you're right about Batman. I wouldn't want to be Batman's friend because he would be such a downer. Superman is just kind of cliche at this point. Like, I was thinking of Mystique or like Martian Manhunter, someone. I won't say anything more because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for Brian in the future. But like, sure. Shape-shifting individual. I mean, like any of the X-Men. Actually, not any of them. Magneto would be a pretty cool friend to have, like controlling metal.
And he's anti-Nazi, so.
And he's anti-Nazi.
And he's into metal.
I could see being friends
This is
with
his
Professor
favorite
X.
episode of Superman.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Charles, I really liked the one where Metallo was the bad guy, even though you don't remember him being the bad guy. You remember that one where he makes the watch where Superman comes? Patrick Stewart. The fuck are you talking about? Superman? I don't know.
I have a question of the week. Am I allowed a question of the week being
Sure,
British
do
Dylan
it.
Pollock?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of course. You have to
Okay.
say it in a British accent, though.
No, you have to say it in
Am
an
I not?
American accent.
No, switch.
Oh,
now.
you want me to go?
more?
You want me to go fucking New Jersey on your fucking ass? You want me to fucking talk Jersey? I'll fucking
Yeah.
talk Jersey. All right.
Oh my
do it.
God, it's perfect.
You're Dylan Pollock now. We don't even need the real one.
Dylan's Long Island, though. It's slightly different.
Does anyone here have a genuine fear of being crushed to death by a trash compactor?
Oh,
Because when I saw Jimmy in that, I was like, I've had this thought before.
I don't think by that specific thing. I think that kind of falls in line with what I'm sure we've talked about this before, but the tropes of like, there was some meme years ago of like, I grew up thinking quicksand was going to be a way bigger problem than it actually is or whatever for me, like just how much that's like a trope in kids stuff.
Yeah,
of, like,
yeah.
I think the trash compactor thing is very common also, but I was just surprised that Jimmy has no reason to believe he's not about to be crushed in about 3 seconds because it's moving real fast.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and the windshield cracks inexplicably. And then the bumpers are being dented and crushed. And then he's just sitting there going, ooh, this is kind of inconvenient. Like he's sweating and like, that's it. And
Also,
then I was like,
Metallo is like, don't harm our cargo or whatever, precious cargo.
Yeah.
You can't see what's going on in there.
Yeah,
and
you,
he's like,
you could have at
he's
least
been in
broken
there
his
for a
legs
while.
already. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. To answer your question, kind of. So where I grew up was like very rural Northeast, and it wasn't like you don't put your trash cans out on the curb for the trash truck to come get them. Garbage truck, I think is what we call them.
Trash truck.
I like
you
trash
load your
truck.
It's more alliterative. Why didn't
I
you do
reckon that's a pretty good trash truck you got right there.
It's in America.
But you tossed your garbage bags in the back of your personal, like your truck, and you drove them to the dump, and you drove up to that thing. It was this probably like 10 by 15 foot like trash compactor, and you're just like, you know, if you ever had like a really heavy trash bag, you kind of get your weight into it and you throw it, and there was basically nothing to stop you from toppling in. And I remember as a kid, in the same way where you're on the edge of something like really high and you're looking over and feeling that little like, oh God, is my body going to make me jump? Similar with that trash compactor, it was like, oh God, like you could just literally go, and the dude is watching with the lever, you know, like you could stop it if you fall in. Which
The
would just be
lifeguard,
very
the dump
gross.
lifeguard.
The dump lifeguard, that's what they call him. But yeah, legitimately, as a kid, had to like,
Oh my God. And trash truck. We've got a TV show on our hands now.
And his sidekick, whatever we said earlier, I don't know. Deputy
Danish.
Thank you. Yeah.
fucking love that. Captain Croissant.
And Deputy Danish.
Oh God, what is this episode?
It's a fever dream. Yeah.
So we at the end of the episode, I looked over at James and was just like, so we're putting this on the bottom, whatever we call it.
The
now.
episode hadn't even ended yet. I think it was Jimmy being crushed like this scene we're talking about. I think it was as early as that you said this. Yeah.
But like now that we're talking about it, I'm like, what if we put it on the top 10 though? Right?
Just to spite everybody, make everyone so
I think
mad.
if you watch it again, it'd be hilarious.
If you watch it in reverse, it's the story of Jimmy making Superman come, and then he puts the white Bronco back on the street. Yeah.
Go out there and do crime, OJ.
You said so many things just now. I had thoughts on half of them, and I've forgotten all of them.
Attaboy. Proper millennial.
Yeah. This episode.
Books or hip hop?
God, I don't even know if it's either of them.
Hippity dippity dup.
Okay.
I will provide no further explanation.
It's like a nursery rhyme or something. It's not even I don't know.
I'm gonna say books.
Okay.
Because you don't like books?
No,
That's what you always say to me when I choose books. I get to choose books if I want to choose books.
You can choose books. We got to say one.
That's why he calls it a trash truck.
Yeah. It's certainly not hip hop, so I guess it's books. I don't know.
Alex?
Everyone disagree with me then. Fuck me. Oh.
It's certainly not what you said, if anything at all. It is not going on the top 10.
No.
But I'm sure we can put it on the bottom 10.
Yeah.
Where the hell did the bottom? Oh, there it is. Bottom Forsake 17. Oh, it'll change to another number now. Yeah, it'll have a 9 in it somehow. Because we have 18 currly. Well, this is like the collective list. I forgot this. Yeah. So where among these do you feel like? I mean, we got 18 of them on here. There's so much. I think I'll just put it around the Cult of the Cat Mad Hatter area. From the top, I guess. Torch Song, Prophecy of Doom. Okay, can you tell me what these are?
Don't do
Torch
this
Song.
to me.
This is the Firefly episode. Prophecy of Doom. I've got Batman in my basement, The Last Laugh, The Promethean, The Clock King, Be a Clown, Cat in the Claw Part 2, Animal Act, It's Never Too Late, Target, Cult of the Cat.
Which one was Animal Act?
That's the Circus Nightwing one.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Mad as a Hatter, Superman's Pal, Cat Scratch Fever, Day of the Samurai, Heavy Metal, The Underdwellers, and The Terrible Trio. And then in Mephisto, we have Dude, Where's My Batmobile?
How do you have The Last Laugh on the bottom? I love that. Personally, I love the
That's
Last
the Captain
Laugh
Clown one. I think it was animated horribly.
Captain Croissant and Captain Clown team up. How are we
they
not
both made
about
the bottom
this?
10. Like I understand when people say they like Underdwellers. I just don't. The end.
That's fair. That's fine. I get that. But I love Joker's, what do you call it? His taco barge? That's what you guys call it.
Taco barge.
Yeah.
I think it's like the list, I feel, is a little mercurial because there's certainly like there's bad.
That was the word of the day. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I work out. My brain.
I read. Trash truck.
But like thinking about the is Fire from Olympus on there?
I don't remember. I just read them, but I don't remember.
It should be.
Okay. Yeah. But like there's these ones. Oh, it's Day of the Samurai that you mentioned that I was like, that's one of those ones that like, yeah, it's bad.
No, Fire from Olympus isn't on here.
Is it that bad? Is Day of the Samurai?
I like Day of the
bad?
Samurai.
That was go to Japan, fight the guy on the volcano.
Yeah.
I think that was the animation was just so awful.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, the animation was awful, and he had a couple of like arigato kind of lines that we were like, whatever.
Yeah.
So
but that being said,
I'm reading off the Japanese menu.
yeah.
But like from my memory, which again we've already established isn't that good, but like I think that is a better episode than this one.
Oh sure.
And so it's like you could almost like whittle down like, okay, if we had to have 10,
a top
like
5 even,
Superman's Pal would be on the top 10 for sure.
Bottom, bottom.
Yeah, a lot of those though.
Oh, we gotta change. I gotta put a 9 somewhere in here. I forget.
It's called the verse list, if you must know.
The what?
You're versatile. You're top and bottom. It's versatile.
Oh, I
list.
see. Yes.
All right.
The Switch list.
Oh, I like it.
The Switch.
Now it's bottom Forsake 79.
Wow.
There we go.
That's a whole ass word right there.
It's an ass word, a word for your ass. All right. Well, that's all the stuff that we do.
No, it's not.
What?
Because Alex has to put it on his list.
Oh, shit. You're right.
Which isn't shit. It's not top 10 because I think you have 1,000 something in there.
What's Lion and the Unicorn? Number 142 or something like that?
Yeah, Lion and the Unicorn. You told me to make it the number that Frederick's code was in the episode, so it's 1414 is what you have Lion and Unicorn at, and then Action Figures was 431. It says still lower than the Lion and the Unicorn in parentheses. So
we're getting into 6 digits with this one then, I think. Like we're going
I'm sure it's at the bottom of these 3 though. Yeah.
We're going 100K for this one. We're going 100K.
Solid K? A solid 100K?
Yeah.
Okay, 100,000.
James probably hates me because he's going to scroll for fucking days now instead of just typing it out. Do you have to scroll to like, are you at like 1414 and you're like, oh fuck, I'm going to go to 100,000?
No, I just write the number. I'm trying to show you. You can't see.
Okay.
I just write the numbers in a list. So yeah, no, you're good. Lion the Unicorn 1414, action figures 431, Superman's pal 100,000. That's a good pick, though. It's because I can imagine Clarion the Witch Boy in his little British accent going, I said 100,000. So it works pretty well.
Wow.
That's all the stuff we do now, right, Brian? Right?
Fuck, man. I can't remember much after that.
We go to the mail and get other people's opinions on Superman's pal. And then we come back and I tell you the name of the next episode. It's Batman Beyond, don't worry.
Yay!
Yay! Sound effect. Do I sound really good, listener?
You sound fine.
I sound fine? That's good to know that this is just how I always sound. Like shit.
This isn't how you always sound, but you sound fine.
Okay, well, it's mail.
Yeah. That yacht. Like one small extra yacht, put it over.
We drop what we drop. Our weekly yacht.
Oh yeah, those.
Into the comment box. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all.
At least I am.
Just Dylan Pollock.
Hi, Brian.
Jamie, I think I need a webcam up there. That is a good angle. It's a better angle than this.
He was looking off into the distance when you saw me the first time.
I look a lot more majestic this way, don't I?
Yes, you do. Your smile radiates at that angle a bit better. And then I can just look at the dog. It's fine. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can send us a short-ass email or a 60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on today's episode on the Pod Tower YouTube channel or Spotify. Please don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian. These are comments and emails from last episode, Meltdown or Big Boot Buzz Lightyear, Feet Kimmy Laveau. We did get a couple on, or one of them on Spotify that I wanted to read. No, that's Spectrum, actually. I typed in SP and it just took me to Spectrum. That's not where I wanted to go.
Get your internet provided now.
Get your internet provided. Reed Smith. On the In Brightest Day episode. Enjoyed hearing your guys' thoughts. You guys probably already said this, but do you think Batman contains worse episodes when Batman's at its worst in contrast to Superman at its worst? Even though you guys think Batman is better than Superman at its best, Batman holds more good episodes overall.
Well, it has more episodes overall, too.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like waters it down a little bit or whatever.
I think so. But that being said, Batman's got some really inexcusably bad episodes. Really bad.
I think the highs and lows pull further on either end.
Yeah.
We've just talked since the top of Superman about Superman being very consistently fine. And then when it has a bad episode, it's like, oh, man, oh, well. It's not like it's not detrimentally like hurtful like it was with Batman. Like, why?
Yeah.
You've had such amazing and then this is so bad or whatever.
If you're into gambling, watch Batman. If you want something more consistent, watch Superman.
We also had Gremlin. I was originally going to complain about how pessimistic Bruce is about Freeze in this episode. Like, Batman is literally hope personified. If anyone believes someone can change, it's him. But then I realized Bruce isn't Batman anymore. It's Harry is. Bruce is too jaded to be Batman now. Even if he could physically, Batman is still hope, even though it's a different man.
Ooh.
Deep.
That's interesting. And it makes me want to think about that for a while, honestly.
On Twitter, there was this stupid thing going on with like, Peter Parker is called Spider-Man and Miles Morales is called Spider-Man. But most people, when they're like, it's Spider-Man and it's Miles Morales, and having the conversation of like, no, that's also Spider-Man. So like when you're talking about Batman from Batman Beyond, you don't typically just say like, oh yeah, this Batman this, you're like Terry McGinnis. And it was just kind of this like, why can't we just call them by their names? Like it's not a,
I mean, Terry literally says that.
Yeah,
like, it's my name
in
now,
the Shriek episode that we haven't gotten to yet.
Whoops!
Oh my gosh!
I'm sorry, that was like 16 months ago.
Oh my god!
I'm 140, 200 now.
I'm 142, and Brian's only 100. And we've flipped ages actually. This is from Lanola Cola. Finally, the peak of STAS. Not. Brought back the 90s not for this stinker. Superman's pal, a.k.a. Not My Adventures with Superman. The return of the terrible trio studio Jade Animation. No.
I can't believe Angela Chen pulled a trying to make me say I think Coolsville sucks with Jimmy. Superman gave Jimmy a device to make him come. Oh my. Yeah, Bruce Timm wasn't exaggerating when he said this is the worst STAS ep from bad animation, not good execution of the story, and the first half of the episode being dedicated to an in-universe glazing of Jimbo Olsen made me yearn for the days when us listeners glazed up Darkseid. I at least enjoyed the Hard Day's Night style montage of Jimbo enduring people heaping accolades to Superman and the fangirl chase. Overall, however, this episode is just bad. I will rewatch any ACOM/Luminous/Mr. Mixia Spitlick episode, The Underdwellers, I've Got Batman in My Basement, The Terrible Trio, Promethean, and Absolute Power before I rewatch this. I'll get back to y'all faster than Tina's sudden heel turn until we up again. Yeah, I have a feeling that's a pretty common
sentiment
feedback.
Yeah.
Yes. This was one of my favorites we've received in a while. This is from Dylan Pollock, all spelled completely differently. Sorry, fellas, feeling a little sick and my voice is a bit froggy, but it's me. Do not reply to this email. Love, Dylan.
How's it going, you Pod Tower? It's your boy Jackson Pollock here with another episode breakdown of Superman the Animated Show titled Superman's Pals. Gotta say, guys, loved this episode, but that should be no surprise, right? I mean, the entire DCAU fan base has rallied around this one, calling it one of the best episodes of the franchise, a real high point. It's got best animation, best characters, best sound design. You name something that's the best, and it's got it. Best lighting, it's got it. Really, guys, I don't know if this episode won any awards, but it definitely should have, because it's an episode that wears many hats, and it wears them well. And me personally, Pollock, I think this has to be my favorite episode, and I'm sure that our host for Jump on the Super Wagon, name's escaping me at the moment, but I'm sure that they agree. I mean, can you imagine if they went against the fan base, if they went against me, Pollock, and said that they disliked this beloved fan episode? It would kind of make you question their credentials a little bit, and might make you go somewhere else for your DCAU-related news, like, I don't know, Yop Tower, but I'm sure they loved it.
I like how it's so predictable that we would hate on the episode. Like, you don't even have to have heard the podcast. So we just know. It'll fall right into my plans. Yop Tower, I mean Dylan Pollock, obviously.
Shit. Dylan Paul. It's like Dillin.
O-N, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Polick.
Polick. Something a little fishy there, Dylan.
I don't know why Dylan would spell his own name so right. It's from Eric LeBeau, Superman's
Dylan,
pal, or
famous for spelling his name incorrectly.
There's more than one way to skin a Malcolm McDowell.
So we probably shouldn't be using copyrighted music as our background music anymore. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. Acapella. Okay, obvious joke, but do you think Tina was into Metallo because he can vibrate? I wouldn't put that past LexCorp, but then again, it could have been one of his upgrades from his friends at Intergang. Holy shit, the animation took a hell of a nosedive here. Just wow. They said that this was okay to air. The fact that they did the fucking anime upskirt for Lois, dear God, what is this episode? Who would have thought after all this time, all you need to do to take down Metallo was just go,
"This is battery acid, you slime!"
Also, Jimmy thinks being friends with a superhero is bad. Try being roommates with a supervillain. It's funny to hear for people like Kimmy and you all, but it's not fun for me. I've been in hell for 6 months. That's really all I got for this one. Till next time, support the Patreon and keep calm and yop on.
That was great.
Very well timed, even, yeah.
Oh my God.
Good stuff.
Thank you for that.
If only just for the background music, it does help with the copyright. I appreciate it. It'll pick up whatever you were singing somehow. Cover of this Sailor Moon theme song. Kale from the Kryptonite Preservation Society. Hey, Jimix and Bryazian. Size. The same size as Metallo's kryptonite always seems to be. Color. A very shiny green. Current location, the bottom of a junkyard pile. How much for a ticket to Metropolis? Previously from Metallo. Vibe, Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. Until next time, Kale, founder, curator, and director of operations of the Kryptonite Preservation Society. Thank you.
Kale,
Kryptonite pop up finally.
Is this a museum? This society?
I hope so.
Can we come check this out?
Yeah, where you got it?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's within walking distance.
Oh yeah, or you can just jump on a bus.
Yeah, a big bus. Ryan Hip, Ryan Hipp's last year's Halloween costumes origin story. Also included some trivs for the music that we were guessing that all of it was reused because of the couple tracks that we noticed, and it is confirmed in the soundtrack for Superman the Animated Series, like the liners with all the details. As with Batman, the producers fought for the budget to have an original score for every episode, each treated as a mini movie with unique dramatic needs and internal musical development. Tracked music was exceedingly rare. Only the episode Superman's Pal was scored entirely with recycled material. So we're correct. Our hunch was right that they had no budget for this episode.
Checks out. It's just, yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Still light outside after 7 o'clock. Welcome back to this, everybody.
I can't see it.
Just in time for everybody's favorite, the greatest Superman story ever told. And it really is. This is undeniably the best episode of Superman the Animated Series because it's about the most important Superman character of them all, Jimmy Olsen. If the internet has taught me anything over the last 9 years, Jimmy Olsen's the guy. You know, fuck Lois, fuck Lex, fuck Martha. Like, who gives a fuck about Martha? And, you know, fuck Superman, too. Like, what's the point of Superman? Like, it's about the ginger with the camera, obviously. Come on. But genuinely, one of my favorite moments in the entire series is in this episode when it's revealed that the chick is fucking the robot, and Jimmy's like, what is going on? And she turns around with total disgust and just says, shut up! And like, same girl.
Yeah, society really cared about Jimmy Olsen when Batman vs. Superman came out because they introduced that universe's version of Jimmy Olsen in the first 5 minutes of the movie and then killed him immediately.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Everyone was like, what the fuck? How dare Zack Snyder do this to Jimmy Olsen? And everyone's like, you didn't care about Jimmy Olsen before. It's only because you want to be mad at him.
But you wanted to care about Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, I guess you didn't get the chance. Solar Misfit, who might be a new one.
Ooh.
Sorry, there's so many people at this point. I'm just gonna, if I don't recognize you, I'll give you the applause. And if I give you the applause erroneously, then leave me alone. It's okay. You got 2 applauses. What's your problem? Hi, Yoppie Poppies, commenting on Meltdown.
Oh my God.
What I always found funny is that I watched Batman and Superman later in my life, and honestly, not all that much of it. Funnier still is when I realize I don't actually remember a wide majority of any of these episodes, so I just have you guys tell me whatever it is that happened, like it's the honest to God truth.
It is. I promise.
That works out, is working for you. Yeah. The Yopisode guide is yours. Oh yeah, this was the DCAU the whole time. This is from Wes Sampsel, who I think is another new one.
My God.
BTAS and TNBA tattoos. I'm going to forward you this email while I'm thinking about it.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Because it includes images that are just going to be easier for you to just look at. It says, hello, James and Brian. I started listening to the podcast in December after discovering it through the DCAU review. That's cool.
Woo!
I was tempted to send in a message after the topic of a Bullock tattoo was brought up, and I just wanted to show off my 2 tattoos. Thank you guys for making my workdays go by quickly while I listen to the pod. P.S. The Batman tattoo is getting some additional villains in the future. Yeah, these are both very cool.
Oh, my God.
The Joker one, it's like cascading playing cards with different heroes.
Yeah, and I love all the ha-ha-has in the background, partially obscured. Oh, that's
the other one
really good work.
All the villains.
Really good color. Really good line work. I'm gonna bring this to a tattoo artist and be like, hey, can you work this around my existing stuff?
Can you just do this same thing? Yeah. The coloring is really good because it's like how do they get such bright, perfect colors, and you'd have to know how that mixes with your skin tone and all this stuff.
And again with the cascading bats on the bottom.
Yeah.
Kind of reminiscent of the Aesop Rock bat tattoo, by the way.
Sure, I know what you're talking about.
It's not that close. It was it's bats on an arm, you know. Anyway, this is baths. That is incredible, Wes. I am pretty jealous, actually. That's I love it.
There, you got the commentary on your tattoo. Are you happy? We're impressed by it, okay? Thanks for writing in. This is from Kyle.
Kyle.
Superman's pal almost put me to sleep.
James, Brian, hello. This episode is kind of a nothing burger, and I really wish I had anything to say other than I'm sure James brought this up, that this is based on a comic book that is just as interesting and probably was used to be the ground for an animal who was likely learning how to use the bathroom.
Definitely.
Take that implication from whatever you want it to be. I was really curious about your guys growing up, because the whole emphasis on this episode, and I mean Jimmy and Superman in general, is like a friendship that clearly has maybe a massive power dynamic, but somebody clearly looks up to the other. And I was curious, did you have a friend when you were growing up that you really looked up to? Or was there an educator, or maybe just a grown-up in general? Heck, it could be even somebody related to you. But I'm curious. I'd like to see what your answer to the question is.
Oh, does anyone spring to your mind immediately?
Well, I can think of the reverse with you.
Yeah, a bad influence.
No,
Yes,
just
it's
with you
me.
looking
Yeah.
up to me, and it's just like, oh my God, who's this child? Leave me alone, little
He's
child.
so much younger than me. Yeah, he's like a baby.
I had some good role models growing up. My third grade teacher gave me a guitar, and that sparked a lot of experiences in my life.
There was a kid that lived on my street when I was in third grade that looked up to me, but it shouldn't have, because I didn't have anything to offer in third grade. Like I was just not. I think it was mostly that I had like less problematic family than him or something. So he would like come hang out with me a lot because he didn't want to be at home. So that was understandable. But he himself was also pretty problematic. So he would just. There was a time when
Jamie, this is depressing as fuck.
There was an abandoned house like near our house on the street, and he like had figured out how to like get into the house. And so he pulled me in there one time, and he was like showing off like knives and stuff that were in the drawers and all this stuff that, like, looking back is like, we should not have been in there. Holy shit, like what the fuck, why what's going on? But so I don't know. To answer your question, Kano, I can't think of anybody. All right, moving on to the next. No.
I mean, I feel like I didn't really have like the look up to people until I got like probably into my 20s.
I think mostly teachers for me that were like, you aren't an asshole, and you're teaching a subject that I enjoy and making me enjoy it more. The end. We got one more email before our last verse that we always do. This is from Mart Vork.
Nice.
MARTVO with a squiggly over it. RK.
O with a squiggly over it.
O with like the Enye squiggly, like a tilde. I don't know what that. Vork. What does it make the O do? All right, Brian, you're supposed to know this. Greetings, James and Brian. Today, as I'm writing, this is the 19th of March. That's correct. I've been listening to your podcast for a few months, and I'm currently on episode 135, Love is a Crock. This episode kind of made me uncomfortable, especially with how Baby Doll acts for most of the episode, because it's literally a grown woman.
A few months, episode 135. Okay. Wow.
It's okay.
Do you need a do you need a hug? Are you okay?
I'd be less uncomfortable if it was only when she was doing crime. Next time I return, I'll have watched season 5 of The Batman, Mart Vork. Thanks for the update, Mart. It's good to know you're out there. And whenever you catch up to this.
Yeah.
And you were a new one, so I read it.
It's
that's what I do.
Let's see, if 135 today, then they'll probably catch up by tomorrow. At that rate.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, that's how math works.
Yeah.
Last verse, we got Mark Aquino. Superman's Pallor. Oh, goody. More excuses for Brian to hate on TAS. You know what? No, I'm not going to get snippy at all, because Brian's new favorite thing is to clown on TAS. I'm keeping this comment of mine free of negativity.
Good for you.
Because you know what? I enjoyed this episode quite a bit, actually. Oh. No. It's nothing monumental, obviously. Just simple, breezy fun. I imagine poor Jimmy's experience is not all that different from people who are friends with super famous celebrities. Always love seeing Malcolm McDowell's Metallo. I think the way he uses the kryptonite to weaken Superman in this is the best it's looked visually. Overall, like I said, I consider this to be a decent watch. Not one of the best TAS episodes, but certainly not one of the worst either. It's simple fun. Boss biggest bear hugs to the #1 podcast host in this here multiverse of ours, John Borman and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. That's a good ride. That's one of the best rides. Praise to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock. It was spelled right on this one. Keep up the great work on your own podcast. Remember to tell Gab that she rules, which I just listened to their Saw episode, recent one. And Gab actually liked it a decent amount, which was, I was so surprised.
Spoilers.
I don't know. It didn't say whether she said it was a movie to watch before you die or not.
That's fair.
I didn't reveal the verdict. Likewise, of course, to all his loyal disciples, all the names, all the awesome sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours, you're all the absolute best. Don't you ever forget that. The whole fight in the junkyard was entertaining. Obviously reminds me a lot of the junkyard fight in Superman 3 with Christopher Reeve, where the dark side of Superman fights the good side of Superman embodied by Clark Kent. I'd explain that whole setup to Brian, but I feel like that once I was done, he'll look at me and paraphrase the scene in Billy Madison. Mark, what you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone within the vicinity of this area is now dumber for you having said that. I ban you from Big Bus, Oregon, and may God have mercy on your soul. Or he'd just walk away. Either response is understandable. Till next week, big ol' woo. Just flew away, baby. Yeah,
I wish I had that memorized.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would not have been able to pull that out. All right. So we go back and we finish up the podcast now.
Yeah. Just do me a favor and
we do.
play like just a second of the Sailor Moon theme.
Oh, I can't. I don't have it booted up.
Okay, then.
Wait, it's on my phone. I can do it on my phone. Hang on a second.
No, you don't need to.
No, I really do, Brian. Okay. You run this podcast.
That's true. I do run the podcast.
And the last time I checked, I have to do everything that you tell me to do.
It's true. I am the boss.
You know, this one's just called Sailor Moon Theme Song. All
That's
right.
enough.
See you guys later.
Okay, we're back from the mail then.
We sure are.
Right.
Great. How'd you like the mail? Give me your future prediction of how you reacted to the mail in the future.
I need more Batgirl fangirl.
Yeah, where is she? Well, we have only 5 episodes of Superman left, you'll be happy to know, I suppose. And the next episode, Batman Beyond, it's called Heroes.
And they say that a hero can save us.
Or whatever was there a recognizable theme song to the show Heroes, or was that it? Did they play that as the theme song?
No, my mind went to Smallville. It's like, somebody save me. That's not Heroes.
No, it's not. I never watched Heroes because I'm a loser.
So Heroes obviously pluralize.
Mm-hmm.
Could I assume it's just going to be Bruce and what's his name?
Terry.
Oh,
it was like Superman.
Drink.
Yeah. He's got a cup that says "fuck" on it.
Yeah, I sure do. It's a Kimmy original.
Much like you press the watch and Superman comes, you press this.
Great. I would like to think that there's more. It's more than just Bruce and Terry. I think we're gonna get a new faction of wannabe superheroes.
You're pretty right on the money. And not necessarily wannabe, but yeah, it is new group of heroes that we haven't seen before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Look at me go.
Heroes. You got that from Heroes? How does he do it?
I'm just very good at this now. Professional podcaster.
Something that Alex mentioned during this episode, that one of the trivs that he spotted or made up or whatever himself is applicable to this episode that we're going to watch. And I'm not going to tell you which one it is. So.
And I know.
Of course.
Well, I'm like reeling, trying to remember.
What were some of the things that he said?
That's what I'm reeling, trying to remember from the trivs. There was the OJ one, and that kind of trumps everything else.
That's right. OJ Simpson is coming on Batman Beyond.
Like we've
He's
had
wearing
the
one
Johnny
glove.
Cochran build-up. Yeah.
Just driving onto the scene recklessly.
Batman at the back, old Batman at the back computers. Now the glove didn't fit, so we have to assume that
we have to acquit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or like Bruce makes a callback to the trial and Terry doesn't understand the joke or something.
Yeah.
But wait, what did you say? What could
Don't
it be?
tell him again.
But
Don't
come
worry about
on.
it.
But what if I remembered?
Then you would remember. That's the show, everybody. Please give us a follow or subscribe wherever you may be listening to this. And please leave us a 5-star review on your podcatcher of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show, just like today we did one. Thank you to everyone listed in the description for their musical themes. Help making this podcast as yoppy as it can be. Go check out their stuff. Thank you to Alex for being here from Batman the Animated Series podcast. Go listen to it. Him and his brother, and always Paul Dini. Paul Dini's there every episode, and I hate it.
That's not the sound I expected.
No. What are you looking for? This one?
I'm Paul Dini's pal, everybody.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Did you ever watch them? Just kidding.
No, oh my god!
I didn't say the full sentence. Everyone can infer. Oh, well, bark, 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 bark.
Bark, bark. Someone's driving by.
And thank you, of course, listener, for listening.
Somewhere Superman is coming.
The dogs hear the signal too. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't work on them. I don't know.
Oh my god! It is.
All right, that's it for me. I'm done. That's it. That's all the jokes. That's it.
Bravo!
We're
Bravo!
over,
Well played.
Once we've reached bestiality, it's time to leave. We get there every time somehow. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to plug other than the fact I've said your podcast a couple times?
Give us an official podcast plug.
Tell us more about it.
No, you guys have said enough. No, I love coming on the show. I love listening to this cum. I love listening to this show.
I love listening to this cum.
That's some audio I do not want to hear.
What was the most recent one? What was the most recent one you guys just did?
Read My Lips, the Scarface
right,
episode.
Yes. With the pointy fingernail people sticking out of
pointy
the floor.
Fingernail people. Yeah, which we had a lot of fun referencing, and we like to go on random jokes, and I never have a script. I'm just like, I've stopped taking thorough notes. I just do bullet points now, like this is a subject, this is a subject, kind of like what I did today, just so I can like keep track of the things.
We don't take notes at all. We just bullshit for
I know. It's way more impressive than what I do. I have to take notes and pause like a chump.
Disagree.
You and your brother Rob, who's definitely named Rob, very funny. If you're listening to this and you haven't checked out the podcast,
please
definitely do. Yeah, every time that we're always having battles between no, you're the funnier podcast. No, please, you're the funnier podcast. So
God, I would especially
and then
back when I was
okay.
Well, you're right.
No, that was the off-air conversation was back when I was still doing, the social media thing. Anytime you guys had like a reel come up, it was just like, I was just literally in tears. It is the funniest stuff. And I usually
have you seen the one today?
No,
I haven't been on social media in months and months.
Oh yeah,
let's watch it now.
Yeah, that's true. Can we do a live reaction?
It's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes long.
Okay,
all right.
I have to applaud every time, like, people will come to me and be like, how do you do all of those like perfectly timed clips, and like how do you know where to use like a character shrugging or whatever the fuck. But then when I watch your guys' reels, I'm always like amazed at just like the perfect.
It's perfect.
You always have like the perfect Alfred eyebrow raise. I'm like, I don't even remember what episode that's from. What did he do that? How do you know? Yeah.
Well, it was even the timing with him there, Scarface, and like, going between the guys. It's just like, the jokes, you guys are so creative. And if nothing else, your TikToks, your reels, whatever.
The podcast sucks, but the reels are great.
No, just the whole thing. Like, go. If you need to be convinced, go watch the reels or whatever, and then go listen to everything.
Your laughter is infectious as well. Brian's the laughing guy of this podcast, but
you guys are just so.
Yeah, and I was going to say Brian's got the infectious laughter too. Like, well, first of all, thank you. That's really nice of you to say, and I really appreciate that, James. James, I'll watch your videos and I think the same thing. Like, I'm always like, where the fuck is that from? What clip is that from? And you do long form video content, which is like something that like I'm trying to build towards myself because and it's just so impressive. When I watch your videos, I'm just like, Jesus, there's so much work that's gone into this. So, we, as you said, we're both on opposite ends of the pond in different ways. But there's two things I've just remembered that I wanted to talk about today before I go, and I'll be as quick as possible. One, that Bluey video that you did on Reels, on TikTok,
Bingo,
Instagram and stuff. First of all, I was like, where's that bingo from? Because I don't remember, but I do know now it's Sub-Zero, isn't it?
Yes, Sub-Zero, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, that was fucking perfect. And I knew it was good. And I knew it was going to get fucking 1 million views because I had fucking dozens
so
of
many
people
sending it
DM
to you.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, I've got to make a video. I've got to do something like this. Like maybe if I do something like they're playing Tony Hawk in the Batcave, and it's Alfred and Robin playing Tony Hawk, and Batman sees them, and I try and I did that, and it got like 5,000 views. I was like, fuck.
Honestly, you never know. Like I just did that on a whim. Like, oh, this would be funny. You know, it was literally from the Sub-Zero clip of him saying bingo. I was like, oh, it'd be funny if I timed that with the theme song. And then I'm like, was there any, you know, like mom or dad or anything that anyone, and I remembered little kid Dick Grayson, as his parents are about to die, they're falling off the trapeze. He goes, Dad! And I'm like, oh, I'll use that. And so I was like, okay, I can do this. And just, you know, spent like 20 minutes on it or something. But you never know when the thing is going to explode. Yeah, it's got like 7 million hits on it now and all this stuff. Yeah, it's
crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a biggie. Yeah. And it's just such a game that we play, but I like playing it, and I feel like you know that your content makes me want to make better content. Like that's what I'm basically saying out of that. All right, I have a question for both of you. You both have to answer separately because I have such a stick in the mud over this. I won't say anything else. I'm just going to ask the question here. What is the name of the Batman villain that has question marks all over him?
The Riddler.
He doesn't have question marks all over him.
No, he's right. Just say it, James.
Okay, the Riddler. What you leave?
Are you saying Riddler or the Riddler?
No, you're both saying it right, and it's pissing me off because you've said it differently in so many other episodes. You say Riddler. I've heard you say Riddler a few times.
Riddler,
and
like it's 3
and I'm
syllables.
like, like riddle, and then there's at the end, and I've always been like. Why are they saying it like that? Is that like a regional thing?
Instead of Riddler. Yeah, no, I think I definitely. Well, because when you say riddle, you don't just say like riddle, like you don't just cut it off of this. So I think I think that's what my brain is doing is like riddle. Someone who riddles is a riddler. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
It might be a regional thing because I don't hear that as a wrong way to say it.
Although we come from different regions.
That's true. Well, region, country, I don't fucking know. Regional.
They're not in Boston being like, you see the fucking Riddler over there? Like, it's totally different.
Riddler.
Yeah, I make no promises or
like you led this up like I have this very like poignant, important question to ask you. I hear you fucking up this. Can you stop saying the word wrong?
I just did it as 3 syllables. Riddler.
Yeah.
There you go. There it is. When you're just like,
yeah. Wow, I'm never gonna unhear that. That's why
I can't unhear it either. Every time you fucking say his name, I can't unhear it. So welcome to my life.
I mean, we have this like, you know, now Brian has made me realize that I say produced. Or like anything that has a pro at the start of it.
And I used to say
amazing. Yeah, we've both fucked each other up with that. But honestly, there's many videos of now, maybe I'll make you hear this, Alex, or anyone listening, but like many videos of ours where if I'm saying Batman the Animated Series fast, I say Batman the Animated Series, and I don't do it on purpose. I've listened back and gone, oh shit. Yeah, it's like, my lady, Batman.
Like he's Jewish all of a sudden, like, hey, it's Batman.
The name's Steve Batman. So, you know, it's just something your mouth does, and you can't control your mouth at all times. That's all I live my life.
I feel like I try not to have an accent, but it doesn't usually work out for me.
I mean, I say arse and like all sorts of weird things, so there we go.
Ooh. Here's a question. This is one of my biggest gripes. Not with this, but just like the world. No, the world at large. Your uncle is married to your
aunt or aunt. Yeah, I say aunt.
Yeah, I say aunt.
Well, but that's a British sound.
Fuck it. I can't.
Yeah.
American accents don't bother me too much, but people are like, oh, I'm going to visit my aunt this weekend. I'm like, go fuck yourself and die.
Yeah.
Jesus.
When I would
hate it. I hate it so much.
Get in that trash truck and drive into the fucking garbage dumpster.
But like, there's a U in it. Who's looking at that going, aunt?
Oh, the English word is fucked up in many ways.
If you aunt listener, you got to fix it, and I will do my best.
Just
I'll
start
do
calling
my
them your
best to
Riddlers
Riddler.
from now on. Yeah.
I'm
going to emphasize it even more just for you listening now.
You will. You'll be.
Man, I
you'll
really
be,
like
yeah,
the
you
Riddler.
will. I know you will.
Riddler. Riddler. Adele Dazeem. Riddle Dazeem. All right, let's leave the podcast and stop talking. Thanks, Alex. We'll see you later.
Thanks for being here, Alex. And thanks for listening, listener.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Bye.
Still kicking yourself?
Why shouldn't I? I messed things up big time.
You lived up to your press, Jimmy. You saved my life again. Here, I made you a thank you gift.
You didn't have to. I mean, you saved my life too. Only like 1,000,000 times.
It's not just a watch. This button emits a hypersonic signal. If I'm anywhere in the city, I'll hear it and I'll come. I figured you might need it, now that everyone knows we're friends. Just don't wear it out.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted and edited by yours truly, James Strecker, and co-hosted by yours Briley, Brian Maneely. This podcast is brought to you by the Watchtower Database, your one-stop shop for all things DC Animated Universe. To send us a Yoppie beverage, nab some sick show merch, or support us on Patreon, you can visit the links in today's show notes. And thank you very much. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice and follow us wherever you listen to never miss a new show. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.